Hello everyone, welcome to Beth's Kitchen. Another snowy day where all we think about is what can we cook. So we're going to make some meatloaf today. And I have 2.5 pounds of beef. I'm making two big meatloafs today so I can have some to share with the family. I've kind of made a bowl down in there for me to soak my breadcrumbs in. And I've got 2 cups of breadcrumbs. I just took some day-old bread and put it in the food processor, but you could use regular breadcrumbs that are already ready. I'm going to do something a little different than what most people do. I'm going to saute these a little bit before I put them in the meatloaf. We like to get them really done. And you'll need 2 eggs as well, and about 2 teaspoons of salt and pepper to taste. And for our sauce, I didn't really measure this because we like really saucy meatloaf. This is chili sauce, which you don't have to use. I add a little bit of that with my ketchup because it has a little bite to it, but you can leave that out and just add more ketchup. So this is about 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and I just didn't even measure the ketchup because I just keep squirting ketchup until I can't squirt ketchup anymore because it's so wonderful. I put a little bit of mustard in there, and my mother always called that piquant sauce, and I don't know where that came from, but it's so good. And then this is 2 cups about of wholemeal for us to soak our crumbs in. So I'm heating up some oil. I'll show you that in a minute to saute the peppers and onions. The first thing we need to do is dump my breadcrumbs in the middle of the meat, and I'm going to pour in the milk. This is an important step to let that soak for a few minutes. Get all that in there. It's going to make for a much moister meatloaf in the end. I have a little bit of oil, just a little, and I'm just going to sweat these. I'm not going to get them super soft, but just get them mostly tender before I add them. Sam, my husband, he likes them to be really tender in the meatloaf. And season. I like to season everything in layers, especially if I cook anything separate. Just assures that everything has that flavor that it needs. Just a little sprinkle. So we'll let those sweat a few minutes and let them cool, and we'll assemble our meatloaf. Okay, our peppers have cooled off and they're a little soft, and put the rest of our ingredients. I'm going to put a little bit of that chili sauce in here, and then the rest in our sauce at the end. Eggs. I've got my hands washed, and I'm going to get in here and mix this up. We're going to form it into loaves when it's all mixed. Now, this is all mixed up, and I'm going to follow my mom's advice. She always made hers into little meatballs because the piquant sauce, ketchup sauce, we just go around each little meatball. And then Sam likes it in a loaf, so I'm going to do both. Make some little, about that size. I'm going to fill up this is a smaller dish, so we'll have that, and then the rest I'll put in a loaf. Okay. Meatballs are finished in that dish. Take the rest of this, make a loaf. Of course, it'll be a little smaller. Okay, these are going to go in the oven for about 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. They won't be done. We'll take them out and brush them with our sauce. While they're baking, we'll make our sauce. I've put about almost 2 cups of ketchup. So we're making a big meatloaf, but you can just guess at this. It's up to you. It's up to your taste. You may have to add more brown sugar And like I say, this is just a little bit of chili sauce, 2 tablespoons. It's just a little bit. My mom didn't use chili sauce. I just like it. It's like I say, it has a little bite. And also, here comes the ingredient that I forgot to mention. It's a dash of nutmeg. Oh, I hear it now. Just a dash. Can't put nutmeg. That goes in pumpkin pie. Well, it gives a little bit of something to a lot of different sauces too. So, I'm going to taste this to see how it is for sweetness. And I love these little tasting spoons, y'all. Got my daughter-in-law some too, and she likes them. That's just perfect. So, we'll get our meatloaf out in about 40 minutes. Spread this on top and put it back for another 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, our meatloaf has been in for about 40 to 45 minutes, and it's a little bit brown. You can see a little bit of fat in this one. I'm going to leave this fat alone, and we'll top it with our sauce. These meatballs have collected a little bit more fat. Let's see if I can get this light a little better. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's see. Okay. So my friend Kim, my good friend Kim, had an idea. She said that you can take a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper and just lift those little meatballs. You don't want to drain every bit of the fat off. You want to leave a little bit because fat is flavor. But if you take all those up and just let all that or most of that fat drain, we can put our sauce on and put those back in the oven along with the loaf and cook them about 30 more minutes. Okay, thank you, Kim, for the tip. I left a little bit of fat. It's hard to see it. I'm going to scoop this piquant sauce over each meatloaf ball. Make sure it's covered and all down in there. So you want to just make sure it runs down between and all around. Okay. This will go back in, like I say, for about 30 minutes. I'm going to check it because since I split this recipe up, it may get done a little bit quicker. And the rest of the sauce will go over this smaller loaf. And it'll be so caramelized and glazed. And by the time it gets finished. Also, I always keep a little extra because we'll usually use that, or we can spoon it on at the very end. I'll see you back when it's done. Okay, our meatloaf is out of the oven. It smells so good. You can see how that glaze just coated every piece. And the loaf looks so good too. Did you see that? Like and subscribe to Beth's Kitchen. Hope you'll try this meatloaf.